Newton with a total of 15 rushing attempts in the game, the most ever by a Patriots quarterback in a single game. His 75 rushing yards were the most in New England since Steve Grogan in 1977. Maybe they should put a neck roll on Cam for the game coming up this weekend. That's an old reference, but my friend Mike Reiss will definitely get it. It's time for one question with our Patriots reporter. And Mike, it's as simple as this. Those rushing stats from Cam Newton in week 1, they sound good, but you start multiplying them over the course of 16 games, and the question is really simple. Is that a sustainable offensive approach for the Patriots this season?
Well, let me tell you what they're saying internally, Greeny. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, said decisively that no team can expect to do the same thing over and over and over again and have it be sustainable. He said the Patriots' approach is to go week by week, look at the opposition and see what the Patriots can do best to attack them, while at the same time not putting any player in harm's way. Specific to Cam, McDaniels said, we obviously know we have a quarterback that can help us, but we have to be smart with what we do with it.
Mike Reiss, outstanding. We'll continue to lean on you all week long as we look ahead. They have a huge game coming up Sunday night against Seattle. Meanwhile, let me bring my crew back in here. I have Damien Woody, Domonique Foxworth, and Dan Graziano. And big fella, I'll start with you. You see the quarterback running it like that. You're an offensive lineman, so I know you love to see the power running game. But is that sustainable over the course of a season?
No, it's not. I mean, the amount of carries that Cam Newton has had, I don't think, you multiply that over 16 games. It's just, I think you're just putting your quarterback in harm's way too many times. But here's the question I would pose to everybody. If you're not using Cam Newton, utilizing his legs, what else are the Patriots going to do offensively? Because the last time I checked, looking at their skill position, especially on the outside, they really don't have anyone to really scare you. That's one of the reasons why we saw, people talked about the decline in Tom Brady is because of the lack of weapons on the outside. And I think it's the same thing with Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a unique athlete at the quarterback position because not only can he throw, but he can run the football. So they can't run the ball that many times, but that's going to have to be a weekly staple for the Patriots offense in order to score the football.
I hear you. I feel like what you're saying, and I would agree with it, is right now the best thing they have on offense is Cam Newton running with the football. And Domonique, I had Bart Scott in here, and he said, look, they're going to treat Cam Newton like a rented car because he's only on a one-year deal and it's very inexpensive. And it was very funny the way he said it, like there'll be McDonald's wrappers on the ground and they'll be smoking and all that kind of thing. But putting that analogy aside, like that probably is one of the things they could consider doing. Do you think that works?
Yeah, it's a tremendous analogy. It's very funny until you really listen to it, and then it gets very sad for Cam Newton because he's right. And I think Cam Newton is big, strong, tough, durable enough to make it through this season no matter how many times they run him. But that's going to cost Cam Newton going in the future because they aren't going to extend Cam Newton long term, I don't think, no matter how great a season he has, because they understand that his days are numbered being the type of quarterback that he is. But I think he'll survive this season no matter how many carries they give him because I don't think he's going to get that many carries. So many of those runs were not designed only to be runs. They were RPOs, and he was taking what was given to him. So teams will recognize that you can't stop this team by sitting back and forcing Cam to run. They're going to try to force Cam to throw, and he threw the ball pretty well when they asked him to do it on Sunday or when the Dolphins forced him to do it on Sunday. So I suspect that Cam Newton is only going to get better. This Patriots team is going to, as they always do, kind of get better towards the end of the season.
What are you hearing, Dan Graziano, out of Foxborough?
When Josh McDaniels was the head coach of the Denver Broncos, he drafted Tim Tebow. There was an idea in Josh McDaniels' mind about a quarterback that was a runner and then an offensive game plan that could be built off of that. Cam Newton obviously has had the career that Tebow didn't and is a far more sort of overall talented player, and this is years later. But I believe that what Josh McDaniels is putting together in New England is an offense that is based around the idea that, hey, this quarterback is a threat to run the ball, and in ways that other quarterbacks aren't. A power-running quarterback, a goal-line threat. So I don't think he runs 15 times a game. That's the second most he's ever run in a game in his career. I think if the Dolphins had been their Week 5 opponent, we wouldn't be making as big a deal of it, right? Because it's Week 1, he ran 15 times. But I think everything will work off of that sort of structure of Cam Newton as the running quarterback, and everything you see develop in the passing game will have that at its heart.
And obviously, one more question quickly for Damien Woody, if I can. Big fella, you played for Bill Belichick. You know they will look different every single week. They're sort of chameleon-like in their offensive approach and defensive approach. Do you expect to see Cam Newton with that volume of running against Seattle Sunday night?
It all depends on how they want to attack the defense. That's the Patriot way when you talk about them offensively. They're going to look to exploit any type of weakness that you've shown on tape. So I'm sure they're going to look at the Atlanta Falcons, what the Atlanta Falcons did, and if the Patriots see something, a matchup or something that they like, they're going to exploit it. And if it means Cam Newton running it 15 times, they'll do it again.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.